Oh boy, I've got a terrible feeling of deja vu. It's almost like we've been here before, little Timmy. 10 billion times. Now you may be wondering why we are back in the mystical, magical land of Chadwick. Do not worry, little Timmy, you're not going crazy. You're already insane. I put out a poll on my channel in the community tab a while ago before we started the mega campaign, asking if you guys would prefer to have them as individual parts or as the director's cut long edition straight away. And the majority of you said you wanted the big edition immediately. But then all of the comments under the poll said we do not want the big edition, we want them individually. And now usually I like to actually wait a little while before I go ahead and release the director's cut, just because it's still fresh in everybody's mind. So I wanted to come to a bit of a compromise somewhere in the middle here, in what I'm calling Mega Campaign 2022 Redux. Alright, now this is extremely experimental. I don't know if I'll do this every year, but pretty simple. And something that people have actually asked for before is for me to play a different nation in the mega campaign. Like actually go back and give something else a go. And I don't think I'll do this like every year, like I just said, but I do think it would be interesting just to do once. And that means that we obviously won't be playing in CK3, but we'll be doing E4, Vic2, and Hoi4 in the world of Chadwick. And I guess we can see what exactly changes from everything we put down. This will all be in one condensed part, as you can probably already tell from the video length. Hopefully it's not too long. I haven't predicted how long this will be. If the video's 100 billion hours, then don't worry. We're gonna watch the heat death of the universe together, Timmy. But yeah. TLDR, we're back in Chadwick for E4, Vic2 and Hoi4, and we're going to play a brand new nation and see how things turn out. And I think the most interesting nation, of course, will be Germany. We'll play Germany. We're not playing Germany. I never want. I hope in this universe, the alternative reality of Chadwick, that Germany just doesn't exist. Now, instead, a nation that captivated a lot of people's interest, including my own, is the Golden Horde, which ended up taking over all of Russia, essentially. And I want to see if I can do a good job / better job / worse job. Oh, here we are, a alt history mod of my own mega campaign. It's we've really come full circle on this damn channel, haven't we? First things first, just realize we are something called Manichaean. Manichaean is a Gnostic religion which incorporates elements of Christianity, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, and okay, so we're everything. What religion are you, little Timmy? It ticks every single box. Alright, so from the conversion to CK3, it appears that we are technically an empire, which is pretty decent for us, although it doesn't mean I think we get all the cool raids mechanics that come with E4. We are a chartered monarchy. What does that even mean? Does anyone actually understand E4 at this point? I personally have no idea what's going on anymore. And our realm is quite large, but it's gonna get a lot larger, that is for darn sure. And also, the religion map, yeah, a little bit complicated. Alright, we do get a mission tree as well, and I should probably get a lot of this done compared to the Chadwick one, which required me to actually restore Rome. I don't know if I ever actually mentioned that, but I didn't feel like rebuilding Rome as the Vikings. Well, this one just seems to give us a whole bunch of claims, which I think, yeah, we've already got quite a few already, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Some claims on Siberia right here, and they are allied with Lach Cuba, and I think I may have this one covered. Here you go, our forced war with Siberia has been a major success, and I'm only ever so economically crippled from it. Now, I've got a few years just mopping up small nations around here, making money, beating everyone up, and then I look to my left, and what do I see but Chadwickian Scandinavia and Finland? I feel like I should be very afraid. Uh-oh, that's not looking too good. Yeah, maybe without my help, the nation of Chadwick probably wasn't meant to prosper. That is 1512. I have expanded quite a lot, really, and I think it's time that the Golden Horde enters its golden era. I always forget to do this. So, might as well do it now. Done plenty of expansion westwards now. I really want to go ahead and start kicking our way east and getting rid of the Bogorgian, which I haven't done for a while, simply for that they were allied to the Ming, which they don't appear to be anymore. Oh yeah, they how they've murdered my boy. Alright though, Chadvickian Scandinavia is going strong. Oh, my last visit to the commode was vastly more enjoyable than dinner with the Mongol ambassador. Well, thanks, Chadwick. You can tell me that one again when you don't have a giant green pimple on your face. Never feel lost in life. Just remember, somewhere out there is Mongolia. Okay, looking what used to be something very great. I can't stand it anymore. I think I'm going to have to help them out a little bit. I say help them out. I mean, hopefully I just deter more destruction a little bit. But I have finally reached the Pacific Ocean. Look at my ginormous, disgusting empire. And from what I can see so far, Asia is looking still pretty disunified, but the Byzantines looking very powerful. Obviously, Chadwick. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Germany, we have the Dannenberg, which I remember seeing them in the original campaign too, but they died pretty quickly. Speaking of dying pretty quickly, Lofranger didn't really stick around, and Andalusia is absolutely ginormous. I don't think you're really in the right spot there, Estonia. I think you got a bit lost at some point. Alright, we went from Ireland owning the majority of the British Isles in our alternative universe to now Cornwall having a massive chunk of it. I don't think I'm quite ready for what the hell this will become. Oh, I've got some knowledge of the New World too, and it kind of looks exactly like it did last time, but with no Irish Mexico this time. For the most part, it kind of just looks like Andalusia is gonna destroy everyone. I guess the good news is that the Germans didn't make it through this playthrough. Without me keeping them alive, they have perished. Although that hasn't changed my never-ending struggle of being called into German wars, as the new yellow Germany has dragged me into one with Hungary. I mean, technically it's them beating up Lotharingia over here, but I just joined for the fun of it anyway. Jadwick is definitely fallen from grace, but they have got some land back. I helped them out a couple times. It's just, it ain't that great. I didn't really bother to check, but the Reformation didn't really happen. There wasn't a lot to reform, I imagine, since the Vikings ate the Pope. I feel like that alone would be quite the reforming factor. But yeah, the French have gone Protestant, the only ones in Europe to do so, not including the Anglican British Isles, which not formed by Ireland this time, instead formed by Cornwall. Why can't you be normal? I can't really actually tell much what's going on over here, but I just realized actually that it's not Andalusia that colonized down here. It's actually, yeah, you essentially just accidentally spammed the keyboard there for your name. We're just gonna call them Portugal, and Portugal has got ahead and actually colonized all of South America. I thought that was Andalusia. I'm not too sure what that's about. And Andalusia themselves, they do have a few colonies as well. One of them I can't actually see. A couple of them, wait, they are in Canada and Louisiana. So yeah, I can't wait to see the mess that awaits us up here. Meanwhile though, the Golden Horde is carrying on our Mongol traditions, and we've headed back east, where we are slowly colonizing the wasteland. Europe in the meantime has remained pretty calm. There have been a few wars, mostly people carving up Hungary. Hungary has been destroyed. I may have also partaken in quite the destroying that's happened to them, especially when Poland, my faithful ally, calls me in. Well, our little happy typing mistake appears to be getting erased by Andalusia. Yeah, I don't think I like this world where we have one giant Poland and then the Polabia just kind of there. Viewer, are you more of a Poland fan or a Polabia Majora fan? The only problem is with me fighting them is that they are allied to Sweden and Andalusia, which I'm not too sure how they managed to get the Andalusians on their side. I guess Andalusia really just wants to come fight me because they have guaranteed them, but I might have to partake a little bit in that. Also, we've got the exact same scenario from last time where Ghana's absolutely huge and Abyssinia has just been destroyed out of Abyssinia again. You know, although I would actually kind of like to fight Sweden as well because of well, they've had these two provinces in my country that have been occupied by Swedish noble rebels for about 200 years. And you might be asking, why don't you just declare war on Sweden to get towards Polabia? And yeah, that's not any better, really. Right, I think this technically could be counted as a world war, right? If we've both got 1 million manpower on our side. That's right, baby. World War Pskov. I think the simple goal we're going to have here is blow everything up before Andalusia turns up. It also looks like they've piled everything into Dannenberg right now, which that's probably going to save our skin a bit here, I think. Imagine being like someone in Europe trying to understand the situation here. Right, so essentially, a few hundred years ago, a man from Mongolia. Now, we're just going to skip over where that might be because there's going to be a lot of more questions if I explain these. And he had the great idea of conquering the entire world, but then he died, and then one of his ancestors decided to call his nation the Golden Horde. Now, for a few hundred years, he's been building up his power, slowly expanding, and now they're sieging down all of Western Europe. I hope that explained it all to you, little 17th century peasant German man. Next lesson, we'll get into the finer details of exactly why we're also allied to a bunch of Vikings in Italy, or how somehow the Muslim Andalusians fit into all of this. It's gonna be one hell of a battle. This would be handy if our allies would come help us, actually. Our allies did come to help us, and we absolutely slaughtered them. Oddly enough, with like the Chadviks and the Chad Italians fighting the Scandinavians over here, do you think like any of the Swedish people like... You look a little similar to my cousin Jimmy. Peaced out with the Swedes, and that means we just have Andalusia and, well, the main culprit here, Polabia. Remember, proud German people, do not attack the people on horseback with the weird throat singing. They are our allies. I just realized that my Uzbek vassal is currently leading the battle there against Andalusia. How'd you get over here? No, 1691, just got 500,000 men fighting each other in a battle? There you go. World War I over. There you go. Poland is definitely now the Polandia Majora. Oh, well, no more Yellow Germany. We now have Saxony. I didn't even know that they could form that. But also then again, anything is better than giant Belgium. Oh, no. No. Alright boys, the revolution is coming to China a little bit early. Finally gonna look at North America, and it's looking very Andalusian. Except for French Mexico, which kind of just slipped in there somehow. We do actually have one native tribe that is still around. The I'm not gonna offend you Federation. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting new world. And for the longest time, the Byzantines were actually just holding out quite fine, but now they are just, they're not hanging out fine anymore. Wondered one of the good reasons why I despise the EU4. It's, well, I'm invading Poland right now, and instead of coming to fight me like men, they've got military access and decided to invade Central Asia. And it's not even Poland that's doing it. It's Denmark. How did Denmark get there? You have to go for my ally, Saxony. Just whoever added the ability for the AI to just get military access for whoever the hell they want, essentially. I hope you get coal for Christmas. I guess the real sad part about this, I own so much damn land. I have so much damn money. I have so many damn troops, and yet I am only 3rd GP, apparently. Yeah, both Persia and Andalusia are just absolutely stomping on me, apparently, even though, okay, I just noticed that Persia has snaked their way into Europe. Oh, and also, Chadvik's back on the menu. They're also snaking into what was the Byzantines, which is now... Well, there they are. But yeah, Persia's pretty big. Most of it, I'm assuming, is down to the fact they own pretty much all of southern India, even though they are not land connected. Well, we've entered 1805. The Byzantines are, I guess, still alive? If that's what you can really call being trapped in Serbia. I have just sniped the last of the provinces that I wanted to get from Japan over here in the northeast. I was going to go for Korea too, but we're actually allied and we're kind of best friends, so I'm not gonna wanna do that. And overall, I think this is actually a pretty interesting game. Again, a lot like the original game, except for I just realized all of South America just went free. When did that happen? Alright, so I guess Portugal, or would have been Portugal, lost all of... Wait, no, that is Brazil. Brazil is technically in Europe. Alright, we ain't gonna question it. South America's been free. North America's still holding on, though. I'm not too sure if they'll manage to stay around much longer, though. Especially if all of South America just blew out of Portugal. Yeah, we are absolutely gargantuan. I thought it'd go a little bit buckward, considering this is, you know, just the side mega campaign, you know, not the main world that we all know and love. This is just a bit of fan fiction that I've created on the sidelines here. But yeah, we are absolutely monstrosity, like a monster in every single way. I'm not sure how this will translate into Vicky 2, but I'm going to keep going for like another 10 years, maybe, just to see what happens with the world. That's one thing. The revolution, I guess, just never spawned, or it was crushed in the Ming. I'm not too sure how revolutions really work in EU4, but it never spawned, so I guess... no revolutionary communist China in 1806. Also, according to the higher-ups in the Golden Horde, Australia, still but a myth. New Zealand, though, we still believe that exists, and half of it is owned by Brazil. Apparently. In EU4, when it gets to the late game, you kind of run out of stuff to do, and it's not like you're ever behind on technology or ideas, so I have been just converting everything, so it's finally a bit cleaned up religious mode over here, but more importantly, I've also been culture converted everything to Astrakani. What happened to all the people that weren't Astrakani? I'm not gonna go into detail or depth about that. So, Astrakani, eh? One thing I do know for sure, though, is Saxony is absolutely ginormous, and probably going to be a bit of a problem in Vic 2 and Hoi 4, but so far I've got this nice big wall between us called Poland. I think if we're going to put this game to rest, we're technically a year away from the end date, we might as well go out in style by calling France and Saxony into a war against Andalusia. I wouldn't usually do this just because Andalusia is just absolutely, well, they're huge. I kind of want to see what they'll do in Vic 2, but also France hasn't done a single thing the entire game. And I also just have, well, I have a lot of troops, and I can build a lot more troops, so might as well do something with them. So, we've finished the actual end date for the game now. We're just going to finish this war and then move back into Vicky 2. Yeah, that is also why I'm dev snacking 420k troops on one province right now, because there's nothing left to care about. Right, well, there you go. France is... Has their border moved any other point in this video? I can't remember. But there you go. Burgundy, which I didn't realize until I gave them the land, is actually a vassal of Saxony. I don't know how that's going to translate into Vicky 2, but I guess we'll find out in a minute. But yeah, that is the final world right there. How exactly this is going to transfer is going to be a pretty interesting thing to see. That is for darn sure. What I did miss, I'm assuming while I was at war with the Spanish, essentially, I'm just going to call them that for ease. We actually missed the Byzantines come back here. I'm assuming Syria just killed the Persians a little bit there. Yeah, but that is very interesting. Essentially, seeing Syria, well, usurp the role of the Byzantine Empire there. Now, our boy Chadwick, the original protagonist of this TV show, well, they actually have been in worse parts throughout the playthrough, but they are still holding on, and they are still the original religion as well, on top of that, which is interesting. All the religion in Italy, it never changed either. They're still there, they just lost all of the land. But yeah, I don't think the Chad Italians did expand a bit, I think, into land they don't even hold. Again, I think Saxony might be the big problem in Vicky 2, because they are absolutely ginormous, and I think they will form Germany too if they manage to get more land, but we'll see. I don't think Poland's going to be having a good time, though, if they manage to survive to Hoi 4. But more importantly, the Mongols are back. better, stronger than ever, and I just realized I forgot to take care of Yarkand. But oh well, I'll leave that to Vicky too. Anyway, we can't see the rest of the world, but you will be seeing it in a second anyway, because it'll be in this video. I keep forgetting that this isn't going to be single parts, it's going to be one big video, so you'll see that in a minute. But that is the world as we left it in EU4 in 1826. Onwards to the future! Whoa! We're back! Whoa! That's a parrot! And a Danish person! Alright, gravy babies, we have converted the world, which means we can now go ahead and have a look at how the world has come out. And we can also set our eyes on unseen lands, like down under in Australia. Okay, so we got Australia, we got New Zealand, and then we got Australia too. And don't forget that we also have Brazil down here in New Zealand too. Oh my god, that is a large Saxony. That is gonna be scary. Right, but the year is 1826, the year we left off in EU4, and the Golden Horde is uncivilized. Yep. We start uncivilized, apparently. Now, we did have the option to not do a uncivilized nation, but that would also convert the rest of pretty much everyone on the map, because we played so late in EU4, to a civilized nation too. Which, yeah, there wouldn't be a lot of conquest over here in Asia at all, essentially. So, you know what, I thought it'd be pretty funny to see what would happen if we actually played uncivilized. I guess, you know what, we are a remnant of the Mongolian Empire. Maybe we should be a little uncivilized. Do start with a few wars going on, like the Andalusian-Yilikia colonial war, which, yep, that's all of Andalusia and Andalusia's friends going to war with what's left of Portugal for Swahili North Madagascar. But if we look at the Great Power list right now, sadly we're not on it, but don't worry, the Confederate States of Denmark is in it! Okay, the real sad thing here is that the Byzantines are actually still a great power, and the Byzantines currently, well, they look like that. So, first things first, we've gone to war with Saxony because our ally France has decided to take Burgundy, which, that doesn't look like it's going to go too well for you, France. We're also skeetering on economic collapse at all points, but how can we go bankrupt if we haven't invented the bank? Yeah, sure thing, Confederate States of Denmark, you may walk through the Golden Horde. They did actually win. Hold on a second. Could I potentially float my economy by adding war reparation? Nope, I cannot, because I do not understand the concept of war reparations. Probably goes back to that whole not understanding what a bank is. Oh yeah, but Saxony's also getting invaded by the Poles right now. Yeah, it's the Polish liberation of Mecklenburg. Alright, for me though, I am just gonna go ahead and try to keep peace with everybody, because I get the feeling people are gonna want to beat me up for my land. And yeah, let's just say if someone actually did go to war with me, well, the Mongol horde would be Mongol hoarding all the way back to Mongolia. God, it's happening. Who declared war on me? Okay. Ming and Persia. Okay, this one might be possible. We are at war with Persia. They want Tabriz back from me, but my ally France did come to my aid, and I clearly just helped you with your war, so you can help me with mine, right? The safest thing is probably just going to be to give it up for them. We are definitely in no position to fight, as I just tried and got absolutely slaughtered by 9 Persians. But I'll be back for Tabriz. Just you wait until I can read. And our first catastrophic crash, where everything was broken, and then I've moved to the 1836 start date, so it's a whole new world. I still own Tabriz, and once again we're doing the exact same thing by going to war with Burgundy. Deja vu. I just realized Ireland still exists over here in Irish South Angola. Both the Byzantines and the Chavickians have gone for a rebrand, with the Greek Empire and then something called Italy? What's that all about? I did a fresh install and went back to the 1827 start date, and I think it's working now. Oh yeah, and in this universe too, by the way, the Poles declared war on me for East Galicia. And yeah, I'm allied to Saxony and France, so didn't go well for them. It's always kind of the problem with converters, is that there may be like a lot of problems in converting the actual save files, but I just did a fresh install of HPM, which is why I don't have like the cool flag mod on and stuff from my HPM, and hopefully it now works. Fingers crossed. Or does it? Well, I just got lucky and got wind of westernization, which gives us another 20% research points modifier. I think the game's trying to pay me back for, like, fisted me in the A. Trying to teach people how to read, and they try to shoot you back. You know what, Greek Empire? Now's not the right time. I got stuff to deal with. You know, I think I've actually lowered my population from 19 million to 17 million just from killing rebels. Going on a little bit of a purge, eh? Just sort of bit of a Russian tradition, eh? Okay, so my entire army is pretty much gone now, I'll be real with you. And I've got 9 revolt risk right there, and 101 rebel brigades ready to rise up, and all I need is one more reform. They come, I just gotta run down the clock. Okay, there you go. With a click of a button, we can westernize. And our rebel problems should slowly disappear now. Oh, I could go ahead and do the Empire of the Steppe, which would change us to Tatarstan, but I kind of like the Golden Horde. It sounds pretty cool. I kind of nonchalantly did the event to find the source of the Nile, and I found it! Well, I guess sadly there's no custom name for this, so Lake Victoria it shall be, but in our hearts we all know it's Lake Golden Horde. Think about it. Lake Victoria? Lake Genghis. One sounds way cooler. Wasn't really paying much attention there, but we actually have just flipped to the Golden Republic. I had a socialist rise up of not even that many troops, but I didn't realize that they were on my capital. So yes, we are now a republic. If I hold an election, will the Socialist Party win, or will they be voted out? Oh. French Mexico just sent me an alliance, which means they aren't under France anymore. And 2, they're not French. 3, are you Mexican? You're Germanic Mexican! Hey, why not, eh? Germanic Mexican, Swabo Frenchman, then all of this. I should probably check everyone else. Well, we also have actual Mexico, by the way, and they are still a satellite of Andalusia, same with the US, and oh, Louisiana is free. Louisiana also looks like this. The Great Socialist Revolution lasted 2 seconds. They've been outed by the Conservative Party. But you know what? The Golden Republic sounds pretty damn cool to me. So I'm gonna try to stay a republic. I don't know if they're gonna revolt back. Oh, the Byzantines have gone for another rebrand. First it was the Byzantines, then the Greek Empire, and now it's just Serbia. Yeah, and Persian India is just constantly breaking through them. They are not doing too well at all down here. Meanwhile, I am developing the nation, building a army, and trying to get #1 GP, which is seemingly impossible because the Germans are absolutely disgustingly huge. Yeah, they're very powerful, and they also annexed Burgundy when they formed Germany. I didn't pay attention to that, probably dealing with one of the 12 billion great revolts we had. But it is 1880 now, and I imagine the colonial powers are going to be out there doing what they do best. I just noticed that Ireland now has 2 provinces down here. Well done, Ireland. There's not a single Irish person here, but there are some Norse Gaelics. There's also some Polabo Norse, and I'm pretty sure Polabo is the same thing from what Poland is, which is Polabo Bavaria. I'm not too sure when the Irish people merged with the Polabo people, but now they live in Angola. Here I was, endlessly expanding railways until my brain wants to explode and my wrist falls off from RSI to hear about the Indian War of Independence. I mean, it's the Indian War of Independence from India, because India don't want to colonize India. God. Okay. So I should be Poland in a war, and I saw I could release a country in them called Gypsyland. I guess the Roma people now have a home, but why is it a Sound like the Germans. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't know why they got so many cores, but yeah, there you go. I'm sure this will definitely last. My God. Okay, hold on. I think they are now a great power. Which makes sense. They didn't just usurp half of Poland. Oh, but so was one of the Australias, apparently. I don't know which one. I guess the French one over here. Who's actually getting all the Okay, I think all the migration may be going to them, which is why they're so powerful. Yep, it's not going anywhere in the New World. Everyone's moving to part of Australia. Oh, that's a lot of people from Germany too. I don't know what's wrong with Germany, but they do not want to be there apparently. Shanghai wants us to back them at the current crisis. What was that for? I guess China is just well, not looking too fresh. Oh yeah, who could have seen this political instability happening in the region? So I freed America because I had them in my sphere, and I got the event to launch like a coup in them, and there you go. America is now free. Hopefully that stops people. Yeah, there you go. Suddenly Australia's not looking too. Australia's still looking very tempting, apparently. I'm really not sure why no one's going to South America though. It can't be that. But oh, they're all partially West civilized, semi-constitutional monarchy. Okay, apparently even in this world, South America, not that appealing. If you were wondering how the whole AI managed to scramble for Africa, it's looking awfully British. The Germans just sent me an alliance, and I went to zoom in, just be like, hey Germany, how's it going? Oh my God! I guess it's not going, too well for you. Whilst I don't plan on taking any land from India, I do plan on just fighting them. I don't have a lot to do at the moment. Also called all my great power allies in. I've got the Brits, the US, and the Germans, and I'm hoping they might get the event to get a great power ally, and this will turn into a great war, but we'll see. They just dropped 400,000 troops on me. I feel like this one battle may just decide the entire of the war. Just got an event that puppeted... Yep, I just puppeted Persia. Okay, not complaining. Although it is a little bit concerning now that they are in the war. The Indian armies have just headed west. Oh, the battle is over. I just got 85 score just from that single battle. And you know, I lost 65,000 men and they lost 500,000 men. Yeah, war's looking pretty good now. Yeah, some of these armies though, they're not looking pretty good at all. Well, Persia just got counter-couped and they're free again now, which I think is probably for the best, honestly. Oh, and there you go. That was the peace. You know what? That was worth it just for the fact we had a battle that lasted months and 500,000 people died in it. Hey, but there you go. The Raj has been released, and I did that for a specific reason, and that is because they get cores on all of India. So hopefully they start eating all the land up, hopefully. Oh, and they just, they merged with the other India, and they kept all their cores and land, so, whew, hopefully we get a big India spawn now, and they, start actually doing stuff, but knowing the AI, I'm sure they'll just eat rocks and die. Ooh, looks like I was correct in my assumption, and India is eating more land, and they appear to have been a little bit drunk while they're doing it too, because they're upside down! Oh, where are you from? Oh, yeah, militant socialist rise up. The militant socialists are already in charge. How much more militant can you get? Oh, the Italians, or should I say the Chadwickians, have turned communist. Okay, nothing like a communal bit of human sacrificing, am I right, boys? Chinese history be like 19th war of Chinese reunification. So we got a crisis. It's me and the Germans trying to free Macedonia, and Poland and Lombardy Venice, which are both great powers, which means this could go to a great war, but because we actually have a truce already with Lombardy, I think it's just gonna automatically peace out. Also, Gypsy Land got dismantled, so, well, Poland's also falling to rebels right now. They're dismantling themselves. Oh, okay. It's kicked off. It's turned into the Great War, but will it automatically peace us out? No. Great War it is! I don't know how much of a Great War it actually is, though, if your enemy is currently fighting itself. But, yeah, I probably shouldn't just march into Poland, but I'm just gonna march into Poland and kill all those rebels. Before I killed that stack of 600,000 rebels, I did check their population beforehand, and it was at like 14.6 million, so, hashtag war crimes with Golden Horde. Oh, sorry. We're actually more liberal now with the Golden Republic, and we still do war crimes. But our war crimes are progressive. Yeah, unsurprisingly, World War One, wasn't that interesting. Oh god, I dismantled them too in the peace deal. That was not a good idea. I had to fix it in the console, alright? Sometimes these games push me too far. Very interestingly, Andalusia's actually reformed into Arabia, despite, not being in Arabia. Uh-oh. Okay. We just won the war. You guys know that, right? Looks like I'm not the only one that's had a bit of a rebrand as the communists siege down St. Petersburg, which is kind of a weird name that I think about it. The Republic has fallen. It'd be kind of weird. I've got like Golden Republic fascists, communists, some militant socialists, all just working together to destroy everything we worked for. Well, it was the communists that won, and we are back to the Golden Horde. Although maybe not, because there's still quite a few rebels left to get their say in here. Well, just as quickly as the communists were in power, as quickly as they were kicked out by the fascists. Okay, we got a bit of a revolving door situation going on in St. Petersburg. Well, the year is 1935, and I think this is a perfect time to leave off. And of course, the Serbian Empire, keeping the tradition of the Byzantine Greek Empire, Serbian Empire, Yugoslavia tradition, is now Yugoslavia. For the rest of the world, if you want to look at the final great powers list, we've got me, the Germans, the British, Japan, India, Australia, sadly, France, and the US actually made it on the list. Very sadly, though, the Chadwickians have not done well at all, and now they've also gone fascist. So, yeah, well, it's going to be very interesting to see how this actually transfers into Hoi 4. I think we might actually have a better World War II in this version than the main universe. That is for sure, because the Germans are so damn huge and powerful. But yes, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a actual world war, not a fake one against Poland. We are back, and the world has been beckoned into the future, where China looks a little bit spicy. Hello everybody, and I did have to do a little bit of editing of the save game, as you can probably tell by my leader portrait right there. I'm cool. I'm Mongolian. And I may have some interesting political take. But this is the world in 1935. That's right, 1 year earlier than we left them off in Vicky 2, and things are definitely gonna go off with a massive bang. You know, I was cleaning up the borders of some places, but I just didn't have it in my heart to make Australia any what less complicated than it is right now. Of course, let us not forget that Brazil also owns this piece of New Zealand. We've really got quite a few interesting portraits going on too. I think my favorite might be the American one, which pretty interesting. I think it's mostly down to the fact that they never actually integrated with the Andalusian culture, so they are still technically Native American primary culture, which I guess is very cool to look at, but I don't think they'd be called the USA. And then over in Europe, we have a few complicated borders that the Yugoslavia's here at least. We do also have quite a few fascist powers. So Italy, the Chadwickians, have also flipped over, and Poland, after being utterly destroyed by me and Germany, has also flipped over. Oh, and interestingly enough, India also is the home of communism. I think this will actually be pretty interesting to see if they manage to get anything done with that, though. First things first, that I haven't actually checked, is are there resources on the map? Okay, there are resources on the map this time. When I converted the mainline campaign There wasn't any resources on the map at all. And I think because I actually converted as a fascist nation, we actually, yep, we get a pretty large focus tree to actually cause a bit of chaos. You ain't ever seen anyone as cool as X23 Genghis before, and I bet. If you're wondering why it's called X23 Genghis, something Elon Musk's child, definitely not me being bad at modding. Now, there is already a few wars going on in the game, which is why the world tension is already going crazy off. So we've got the Arab reclamation of, and we have the Korean Ming War, which I think, if you can't tell already, yeah, they've already lost. The British-Arab War, which again, Arabia is Andalusia, that might actually take a little bit longer to fix up. Oh yeah, and because Britain was formed by Cornwall, I guess they've transferred into Welsh now. So we're not going to mess around at all here. We're immediately going to start kicking off all these focuses when we can in 1937. And then after I've done this one here, I guess we'll try for the fascist summit. Because I don't think, are there any factions in the map? There is one. And it is the French. God, yeah, this British Arabia war, that is gonna take a long time to deal with, I imagine. So Britain's got a lot of troops, and so did they. Okay, yeah, that's probably what's gonna be the continuation into World War II. I also find it funny, tucked between little France and Germany here is a little Switzerland, desperately trying to hide a certain individual. One thing I did notice is there's pretty much not a single piece of rubber in the world. Okay, I'm most certainly gonna have to build my own rubber. This is definitely going to be a problem. I am now allied to Switzerland, my only friend around. Oh, that's one huge career. I should realize as well that the Germans own Abyssinia, but it's completely landlocked because they lost Eritrea through a crisis, I think. So Arabia had like pushed the British completely all the way out through all of this land, but I think the British had naval invaded back, and now they've done the old switcheroo on them. Right, we're going to start off pretty small here, and we're going to union with the Borjigins, which are actually, I think, the remnants of the original Mongol horde, which, yeah, I get the feeling that's who that is. They accepted, which just immediately annexed them into my land. Now, a few of these, the small ones, I think that will probably go easy, but some of the big ones like Poland, I'm not too sure about that one. Everyone wants to come back home! And I'd really like to do the Korea one too, but unfortunately I have to wait until they're at peace, and they are currently still at war with Lanzang. So let's see if I can help them out. Right, let us assess thy situation for you, my Chinese friend. Oh, and my Korean friends too. Don't want to be insensitive here. Okay, I'm assessing the situation, and the situation seems completely easy to deal with. Hello? AI? AI, are you just not home? I think the problem is that the AI over here, Guangdong, doesn't actually have any units. They've just got one guy, and Korea doesn't have mill access through them. So they can't actually get down here to deal with these guys. They're not in the same faction. Right, there we go, which now means I can go ahead and do my union with Korea, which if they actually accept this, I will be surprised, but in case they don't accept this, I'm just going to conveniently move the army to their border. God, did they just they just went to war with India? We're doing this the old-fashioned way. Oh, it's because India went to war with Bengal and Korea was guaranteeing... Okay. Right, Korea, it's time to bring you back into the fold of the Mongol Empire. Okay, I wasn't quite expecting that one, I won't lie. That took up most of 2 seconds to completely shatter the Koreans and obliterate everything. So, I have moved the border slightly south and got myself a new Korean puppet under Kyung-woo. After messing around in India, it is time to get all the way back to Europe. Quick, boys, scarper with the loot. I would also like the Swedes in my faction, but they don't seem to want to like me, even though we are politically inclined to be friends. So, you're gonna be my friend or you're gonna pay for it. Would you not like to be best buds with this guy? Oh, God. It's happening again. Right, Poland, you're either with us or you're just not with us, which means you're going to soon be with us. The neo-Scottish expansionism. Someone really should step in for that one. You guys aren't even Scottish. You're Mexican. Yep, it's happening. It's everything is happening just like it did last time. Oh, Poland actually just straight up said yes. Great union between Poland and the Golden Horde has been completed. Will anybody stop me as I now say I will be going for Czechoslovakia? I mean, the Czechs really aren't much, so if they say no to this, that would be a surprise. Yeah, at this point, I get the feeling that the leader of Germany might be getting on a plane and start waving a piece of paper around. Surely he would not also go for Yugoslavia, right? I mean, I do kind of get it, though. Do you really want to be the person to say no to this guy? Well, you know, maybe at this point I think I'm just gonna go to war with Germany, because nobody seems to be stopping me. But not before I teach the Swedes a lesson for trying to stay neutral once again. I also released Yugoslavia as a puppet because I don't particularly want to have to deal with the German borders down here. I realize, well, the way Louisiana is shaped up there, it kind of just looks like a larger Texas, which is already quite large. Yeah. Somebody stop me! Alright, there you go, I just released them as a puppet too, but really, that's what it took for you to join my faction, to annex your entire country. Oh, for that, I'm gonna send all of the Swedish manpower to go garrison China. I was really kind of hoping the French or the Germans might go to war, but no, France has war plan Japan and war plan India. And they're not even at war with Japan yet, but they are at war with India. A war that will never end. Yeah, you know what? The Cambodian expansionism is just too far. Sorry, but how can we sleep soundly at night when we know somewhere this guy is out there making this face? Somebody actually wants to join my faction, and it's Lombardy, and they're at war with Arabia. I mean, I guess I could actually get involved and put this to rest, considering this has been going on since the start of the game. Suddenly I got an ally in the British too, eh? I don't mind if I do. I got an absolutely ginormous navy from Vicky too, so hopefully we can put this to work, and they'll actually go about doing some naval invasions down here. I wasn't expecting to do any naval invading this game, so gonna have to figure out how to do that first. We got the landing pretty nicely. So the plan is to push through North Africa and then naval invade from the bottom down here, so we have all the airports to help us out. I have no idea why, but I can't actually set any front lines down here. I could do them over here, but yeah, not quite possible here. That's really weird. I can't even do a fullback line. I can't even naval invade from the UK's provinces, even though they're in my faction. I can't do it from Sweden anyway. Yeah, I think things might be a little bit broken right now. Fine, I'm just microing the units and then putting all like the infantry on the garrison so they just move up, and we'll just have to do it like that for now. There you go, bit of tinkering, got it to work again. Okay, we're back in business. Sorry, just RP wise, the entire Mongol upper armed forces just completely forgot what warfare was for a good while there. We got ourselves the landing, and is that 7 tanks that just appeared? Wondered why we had no supply. That's because the Andalusians never invented the railroad, apparently. Oh, I was gonna say supply situation fixed, now we can start pushing, but I think it's more of a rollover. Give a damn. But I have gone ahead and puppeted Arabia to the Mongol Empire. I'm not too sure why it's called Mongol Central Arabia though, but yeah, that's cool. And then I think I also released another Arabia over here in like the Azores, and they've been demilitarized. God, I'm still at war with Arabian Pacific and Andalusian Cascadia. I'm just gonna, I'm not where are they? Where do I find them? Just, how do I'm not gonna get over here ever, so no, I'm not there. I'm not home. Sure, while it would be absolutely riveting fun to go on the Mongol invasion to Cascadia, we're instead going to Germany. I just don't feel like walking like all the way over here and then naval invading into zero supply areas with no ports. And yep, the one port is over here. I'm not home. I'm not home. I just think it's time to fix the eyesore in the middle of Europe. You know, I'd love to get the Chadwickians on board too, but they just have no interest at all in joining me. And I'm not going to bother waiting around for them either. Instead, it is finally time for us to... I can't do war with Germany. I guess it's finally time for us to kill them. When I got that war goal for Germany, I just saw, like, who just blew... Okay, South America has finally awoken to destroy Paraguay. I mean, you know what? I'm sure my South American viewers are just happy to be mentioned. Unless you're from Paraguay, where you might be a little bit concerned where your giant nation may now be turned to nothing. Anyway, time to kill the Germans! Yeah, I just started a war with South America and Egypt. I'm calling everybody in. Let's make this one something to remember. Yeah, I forgot Switzerland's on my side, but they're holding like a champ. One finally woke up. Did America just also join against me? And France? Yeah, okay, and now the Chadwicks have finally awoken. Wasn't quite imagining that lineup of friendship. That did not take long for Germany to capitulate. The borders haven't got any better down here, you can see. There goes France. I won't lie, it's very hard to tell what's going on because there's just so many units everywhere. Yeah, now, unsurprisingly, to finish this war off, I will have to get Australia and US. How the hell am I doing that? Okay, so Britain has land over here, so I can naval invade over there, but then getting to America is gonna be a little bit more complicated. Found the answer we need, and it's called violating Greenland sovereignty. Also at war with Nova Scotia, somehow, for some reason, and they're at war with America too, so this should make this a lot easier for me. Well, I've peaced out with Brazil. Here comes the Golden Horde invasion of Native America. It's a very interesting leader of the CSA. That is the Americans dealt with. Now the problem's going to be taking care of Australia, which I've already set up an invasion for. Only thing that's a little... Oh, I always forget about French Mexico. The only thing with Australia is they're actually quite powerful. Surprisingly powerful, actually. Never mind. New Zealand just made my life 12 times easier by switching their political party. There you go. We've won. Wait, I didn't realize that Paraguay was actually... They joined this war after I gave them all of South America. Alright, well that is just plain rude, for one. Here you go. Finally, we have ourselves some peace. And also a little bit of revenge for getting stabbed in the back by the very country that I made so huge. I mean, I didn't really make them huge. They just sort of won down here. And then in the peace conference, I gave them all the land. There you go. That is our new Europe. I could have given Northern Italy back to the Chadwickians, but they don't deserve it. Yeah, they were definitely a major disappointment to watch. I was kind of hoping they would flourish through this and maybe become a big enemy, but no, they just died immediately and never really amounted to anything. But nonetheless, this was a fun little mega campaign. I guess I should say mini mega campaign. It's definitely not a complete one, but it was just a fun little thing I thought would be interesting to see for just one more video for the rest of the year. That's because if I've got this video out in time, it will be essentially around the 30th or the 31st, which means there won't be any videos for a whole year now. I'll probably upload on the 1st or the 2nd of January. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you leave a like and subscribe button down below, and you've had a very good year and you've enjoyed all the content on the channel. And if you have, I hope you'll stick around for next year, where we'll try to top it once again with some wacky shenanigans. But anyway, my little Timmies, I shall leave you off here. Have a jolly little new year, and I will catch you in 2023. And don't forget, don't go near this man.